Yeah, no, for sure. You know what? And yeah, all right. Let's do it. Let's go. Here we go. Boom. Week 2 on the spread option pod. Last week we were slightly humbled in the Kentucky game. That was a bad line we gave out because that shit landed precisely on 8. But we covered ourselves in glory with Mississippi State and the Rice Owls, hoot outright winners.
Yeah, there was a backdoor cover in that Toledo game, in the Toledo Kentucky game. So.
So that shit was like 24-9 or whatever.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Motherfuck. That's
but like
gross.
going in the half, it was 8-2, I think. So it was a close fought contest.
8-2. God damn it.
I think within final 3 or 4 minutes, Toledo scored a touchdown. So it was, anyway.
I swear to God. No, please tell me it got to 8-2 because both teams scored a safety. That would be my favorite shit in the world.
I did not have eyes on that game. I went to a bar. Met my brother in Westbury, Long Island, and I met my brother at a bar.
What the fuck is that?
Is
that way
Nassau
out there?
County. No, Nassau County. Like near Bethpage.
Okay.
I met him in a bar there, and the owner of the bar was there, and there were 3 bartenders, and they didn't know how to change the channels on the TV.
Oh my God.
I thought that was the funniest thing.
No, oh my God, no. And by the way, there was a good tweet about that. I gotta find it. I'll make that the thumbnail for this. There's a fucking tweet about that.
Like whatever, but I could watch everything else that I wanted to. I just couldn't. They couldn't get the SEC network or whatever the fuck it was. But anyway.
Yeah. All right then. All right. Well, we'll dive right into this week's action. Fresh off of our 2-1 week. Rotation 145, 146. It's the Seahawks of Tennessee Martin taking on the Miners of Texas El Paso. Sadly, you won't find this lineup in Vegas yet or at your legal sports books. But if you check out your crypto books, cough, cough, oddsmaker, you'll find UTEP laying 6.5, which would be usually a tempting number, wouldn't it? But the gap between these teams is not that wide. We pointed this out in the offseason, but this is a good spot for us to take an experienced coach for this top FCS team going up against a UTEP team that lost on this very field last week to Utah State, which I think should dampen any optimism. I want to say also that they were like Tennessee Martin wasn't like they lost decisively to OK State, but they lost decisively like in the way that FAU did to Maryland. It was like they were actually more in that game than the final score suggests. It just got away from them after a couple things happened. You know, like I think Tennessee Martin keeps it close. I think that's why their power rated so close. Like they're expected. I say why the bookie's putting them so close together because like this FCS divide is not as stark as it normally would be. Like this game is going to stay within a single score. I'm going to say that right now, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Miners lost again.
So, looking at the 4-year average of power ratings between these two teams on a neutral, this would be UTEP favored by 2.5 points.
You're kidding.
Well, I mean,
wow.
and how much is just the average of the 4-year power ratings of each of these programs, and like how much home field advantage do you give to UTEP? Maybe 2.
I mean,
maybe 1.
I mean, I would have said 3. I would have said 3, but it's a low key long trip, right, from Tennessee to El Paso because El Paso's down by the border, right? So
yeah.
like it's probably it's kind of a trip, right? You get a drive from Martin, which I believe is way the fuck from Nashville. So you drive Nashville and fly out. Maybe there's a closer airport in another state, right? Whatever. You got to fly down to, like, I guess, San Antonio and then take a bus down to El Paso. Because El Paso ain't got an airport, right?
El Paso has an airport, yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. So hopefully they could at least fly direct from Tennessee to El Paso, for fuck's sake. But still, long trip. So maybe you could give them a full 3 for that. So, yeah, 5.5, 6, that would make sense.
Yeah, UT Martin is in the middle of nowhere. It's like right near the Kentucky-Missouri border.
Maybe you could fly to Lexington.
Nashville, Memphis, and Memphis appear to be the closest large cities.
Okay, yeah. All right, so
Yeah.
we'll fly to Memphis maybe. Yeah.
Wow.
In Memphis. From one of those airports there must be a direct flight to El Paso at some point, right? Sure.
Probably not. If you were, so I don't know if they're chartering, but if you took like a regular commercial flight, you probably have to transfer in Dallas or Houston.
Ooh. Everyone hates the layover.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tough trip. And UTEP looking maybe looking down this season. All right. All right, next one up. Rotation 3-3-3-3-3-4. It's the Baylor Bears visiting Fort Worth to take on the Ponies. Ponies laying 2.5 in this one. I think I'd take it before I laid it.
I'm on Baylor here. I got a theme for my 2 picks. We're taking the primetime losers to bounce back. So on Baylor here. Listen, in this last game, a couple things. One, Baylor outgained Auburn. Those numbers are somewhere 43 to 415. I watched every minute of this game. This game was lost basically because in the middle of the first quarter, Aranda goes for it on 4th down, like on Baylor's 35 or 40. Like he just lost his cool instantly. And from that point, Baylor was just playing from behind. The other issue was in this game was they just ran the ball with Jackson Arnold, the quarterback. Like their top receiver in this game had only 26 yards. Arnold only threw for like 108 yards. What Baylor decided to do was just drop everyone back in quarters because they didn't want to get burned by Auburn's wide receivers. And they like dared Jackson Arnold to run the ball, and he did. I don't think they're going to have to do that with SMU. Like the SMU wide receivers are not Auburn's wide receivers. Like Ken Jennings can run, but he's not like a running quarterback. He's sort of more of a scrambler. I'd expect this to be kind of a high scoring game, but like if it wasn't for a couple key decisions in that game for Aranda, the final score would definitely be closer, and I think Baylor would have had a chance to win. They also, it was 38-24. There was that weird going for it on 4th down early in the game inside Baylor territory. They got down to Auburn's 3 or 2. Couldn't convert on 4th down. There was also a kick return, a 98-yard kick return on Auburn. This should have been a much more competitive game. And SMU is one of the teams that I think is going to take a downgrade from last year. They lost a lot of guys on the defense, on the offensive line. So I think Baylor's going to be able to come out on top for this one.
I love that. And we also felt good about this team coming in. Like, I like this one dovetailing with our priors. Definitely, I expect the Baylor Bears to win this game. And, Yeah, no reason why not.
Yeah.
Okay.
I bet them plus 2.5 money line and parlayed their money line with Iowa's money line. Go Hawkeyes.
Oh my God. All right. Next one up, rotation 353-354. It's the Red Hawks of Miami, Ohio, visiting Rutgers. Scarlet Knights laying 15.5 on a total of 45.5. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention total last game 64.5. Anyway, I love Rutgers in this spot. I expect Rutgers to beat the Red Hawks up on both sides of the line of scrimmage. It's really a mismatch on both sides of the line of scrimmage. It's my understanding the Wisconsin quarterback got hurt last week, and I'm pretty sure that's the only reason the Red Hawks didn't not cover that. So this will be a good time to fade them. Like, really, yeah, I love this bet. I'm going to get on a train to go across the Hudson so I can make it. And that's where I'm at on that. All right, one more before we let you go. Rotation 387-388. Vanderbilt visiting Virginia Tech. It's the Hokies laying 1.5 at home on a total of 47.5. You really talked me to either side of this.
They played last year in week 1. Vanderbilt won 34-27. That was the first game with the Diego Pavia experiment at Vanderbilt, running QB and incorporating tons of option principles into that offense. You know, taking what he did at New Mexico State and bringing it to Nashville. That game, we'll talk about the game and then we'll talk about the point spread. In that game, Vanderbilt outgained them by about 30 yards. Vanderbilt won in time of possession, but this was a close game. This game was heading into the Vanderbilt got up on them early in that game. Going into the half, it was 17-3 Vanderbilt, but Vatek came back. And it was 27-20 until 1 minute and 51 seconds left to go when Vanderbilt tied it up, and then they lost the game in overtime. So this was an extremely close game. At one point, according to ESPN, Vanderbilt had a 90.2% win probability. That was in the middle of the fourth quarter. Close game. This game, the spread of this game last year, 13.5 points. The look-ahead line in this game was 3 points. And now I'm at 1.5 or 1. I grabbed this at 1. I think it's currently at 1.5. Come on, that's too much within 1 year. A change of basically 2 touchdowns. This is Virginia Tech's home opener after an embarrassing loss to South Carolina. That South Carolina game also was much closer than the final score. That game, let me pull that up real quick, which, there were Kyron Drones had 2 interceptions.
Yeah, I was about to say, Drones threw him out of the game, didn't he?
He threw him out of the game, but Vatek also outgained South Carolina in this game, 336 yards to 328. Vatek 8 for 18 on third down. A lot of opportunities to convert, couldn't do it versus salty defense. The problem in this game was, he threw him out of the game, and there was also 2 explosive plays. There was an 80-yard punt return. This game was 8-10. Vatek, South Carolina, 8-10 at the end of the third quarter. Then we had an 80-yard punt return to make the game 17-8. And then there was busted coverage for Nick Harbor, 64-yard pass at the end of the game. So, this was a much, much, much closer game. I watched every minute of it. come on. Vanderbilt surprised them in the opener week 1 last year. I'm sure this is Mark Allen's revenge spot. We can't in Blacksburg enter Sandman blasting the home team, the Hokies. They can't get one over on Vanderbilt. Come on. Give it to me.
All right. Well, you know what? We're going to go ahead and we're going to do a rare thing here, but we're going to grade it at the -1, -120, because this is probably a very close matchup. I think last year's result is probably the truth. It's going to be close. I don't want to lose if Vatech wins by 1. It's a revenge spot. You know what, though? I'm kind of sold. I think I was going to say Rutgers, but I'm kind of sold. Hokie is the best bet.
One other quick thing, I got to jump, but currently Tulsa is like a 5-point favorite on the road at New Mexico State.
Okay.
The last time Tulsa was a road favorite was in 2022.
Okay, I'll just lay you the 5. If this is where you're going with that,
No. I'm not giving out. I'm not betting it. I'm just asking. Like, does someone know something? Or is people just getting a little too cute? Come on.
No. New Mexico is like in an unbackable situation. I'm pretty sure that they are at least 3-point dogs to everyone. Like in any circumstance.
Did New Mexico State play? They must have played an FCS game. What was the 19-3 versus Bryant.
Wow. Okay. But
got margin against the Bryant Bulldogs. Yeah, I mean, both totally meaningless results. Who did Tulsa play last week? Abilene Christian. At least that's a better FCS school, 35-7.
I mean, Tulsa's in a bad way, but
yeah. You
Like,
couldn't pay me to watch this game.
Of course you could. In point of fact, if you bet as little as $50 on this game, I bet you fucking watch it.
Well, I'm not watching this game at 9 p.m. Eastern. Okay.
Oh, that's when the real ones are out. My goodness.
Yeah. If I can make it into the third quarter of the 8 o'clock game, that's a victory. But anyway, I gotta jump.
Go get them.
Go Hokies. Go Scarlet Knights. Go Skyhawks.
Yeah. That's right. Not Seahawks. The Skyhawks and the